On the morning of the 23rd, we set out to chase Wisconsin's famous Mikado steam locomotive, SOO Line 1003, as they make their run from Hartford all the way up to Burnett, Wisconsin. But before anything could really happen, Wisconsin and Southern's T4H, Horicon to Janesville freight, would need to slip by. Turning our attention to the east, we watch as the famous 1003 and its consist makes its shove out from the Historical Society and onto the Wisconsin and Southern main line. At the S-curve and Rubicon, they fly through town, tender first with a reorganized consist. At Woodland, the angled crossing offers a great shot for any trains heading east in the morning. Unlucky for us, 1003 was heading west, so slightly backlit, but still cool. Three slows up considerably as they make their approach into Iron Ridge. North Cedar Road would be our next stop, as 1003 is now on its final stretch towards Horicon. At Wisconsin and Southern's Horicon Yard, we see 1003 off in the distance as they enter the city limits. In order to run around their train to head up to Burnett, 1003 would need to move some coil cars. However, we'd just opt to head to a crossing between Horicon and Burnett to catch the show. In Burnett, they would perform 2 run-bys. This is when the train shoves back and then passes a specific point, repeating the process a number of times. Built in March of 1913, SOO Line 1003 rolled out of Alco's plant in Schenectady, New York as an L1 Mikado class for the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Sault Ste. Marie Railroad, or simply the SOO Line. After many years of hard revenue work, ownership changes, and rebuild programs, 1003 found itself running photo charters all over the Wisconsin countryside, primarily on WSOR's Northern Division. Here they shoved back for their second of 2 run-bys. .1003 makes its final run-by before being topped off with coal and departing for Horicon. After they topped off with coal, they departed from their stop in Burnett, giving us a pretty cool smoke show as they head back towards Horicon. They crawl through the Horicon Y in preparation to make a shove back to get water. Now back on the main, that'll connect them to Hartford, the 112-year-old locomotive powers out of Horicon. We capture this 19th century wonder one last time as SOO Line 1003 works its way through Woodland, Wisconsin towards its home in Hartford.